I have one request for a committee to meet during today's session of the Senate as the approval of the majority and minority leaders.
Duly noted.
Mr. President, I agree with the senator from Illinois that there ought to be a legislative solution to the DACA children. In fact, we had one in 2013. We worked on it in a bipartisan way. It solved a large number of immigration issues, trying to have a legal immigration system, sent it to the House, and the House didn't consider it. I'm ready to continue to do that. I disagree with one thing that happened today, though, about bringing bills to the floor. He talked about the importance of bringing the DACA legislation to the floor. That is important. Once we have an agreement, either in the committee or among us informally. A second bill that's very important to bring to the floor is the National Defense Authorization Act, which has been enacted for more than 50 years, in which members in the Armed Services Committee have a chance to offer amendments. But Senator McConnell, who is the majority leader, and because he has one right, really, which is to decide what to bring to the floor, he pushed aside the National Defense Authorization Act, which was important, and said, in these times, I think the important thing for me to do is to bring to the floor legislation on police reform and racial justice and allow the Senate to have an open amendment process. And he did that in what would be the logical way, since he's the majority leader. He offered a majority bill sponsored by Senator Tim Scott and co-sponsored by a number of us on the Republican side. So the vote we had a little earlier today was, shall we proceed to the issue of racial justice and police reform, starting with the Scott bill, with an open amendment process? Now, what does that mean? That means that any Democrat could offer the House bill, or any Democrat could offer any other amendment. Now, we've gotten into a bad habit around here, which I know the senator from Illinois doesn't like either, which is if he offers an amendment, I object to his amendment. And then if I offer an amendment, he says, well, because you objected to mine, I'll object to yours, and so we don't have any amendments. But we should be able to bring an important bill to the floor, whether it's DACA or national defense or whether it's criminal justice, and say it's open for amendment. And let's have amendments. I think that's happened so little over the last several years that people have forgotten how to do it. I mean, if you don't like the amendment, someone can move to table it. It takes 51 votes. Sometimes it's 60 votes. And if we get to the end of the process and the minority side doesn't like the bill the way it is, they can keep it from going off the floor by refusing to give 60 votes. So it was very disappointing that when the majority leader has taken a limited number of weeks and said, okay, I'll give a week and a half to racial justice and police reform, and start with the majority bill and offer to the entire Senate a chance to amend it, for the other side to say, no, we won't let you even go to the bill. I think that's very disappointing. And Senator Scott, I know, is disappointed, and many of us are, and I don't believe it distinguishes the Senate when that occurs.